In March of 1966, the most famous trophy in the world vanished from a locked glass case in London. No alarms went off. No windows were broken. 4 months later, England would lift that same trophy and be remembered forever as champions. Almost nobody talks about the 7 days in between. 7 days where the World Cup itself was missing, and the ones who found it were not the police. It was a dog. The real story is far stranger than a football final. The trophy was called the Jules Rimet Trophy, a gold-plated statue of the goddess Nike holding a cup above her head. In early 1966, it was on public display in London, guarded by two men and a single padlock. Someone forced that padlock open. The trophy disappeared. Within hours, it was front-page news. Scotland Yard treated it as a national emergency. 3 days later, a ransom letter arrived, demanding £15,000 and threatening to melt the trophy down. It was signed only Jackson. Police set a trap at the handover and arrested a man named Edward Betchley, but there was no trophy at his home. He claimed he was only a middleman, paid to collect an envelope, with no idea where the real thing was. He was convicted of demanding money with menace. The actual thief was never identified. So, how did they get it back? Not through detective work. Through a dog. On an evening walk, 1 week after the theft, a delivery driver named David Corbett was walking home with his dog, a collie named Pickles, when Pickles became fixated on a bundle under a garden hedge. Corbett almost ignored it. He unwrapped the newspaper anyway. Inside was the World Cup, fully intact. Sitting under a hedge in South London, police were skeptical at first. Given a week of failed searching, once verified, it made headlines just as large as the theft. Pickles became a national celebrity, awarded a medal, and even reportedly invited to England's championship banquet, where he was allowed to lick the plates. That July, Bobby Moore lifted that very trophy after England beat West Germany in the final at Wembley. Here's the twist. That was not the last time it disappeared. Brazil won the World Cup 3 times and under the rules of the era, got to keep the trophy for good. In 1983, it was stolen again from a display case in Rio. This time, it was never recovered. Investigators believe it was melted down for its gold within days. The trophy, lifted by legends like Pelé, almost certainly no longer exists. Every World Cup trophy raised since 1974 is a different object entirely, created after the original went missing for good. Football historian David Goldblatt has noted that these near disasters rarely make official retrospectives because the sport prefers stories about goals, not stories about padlocks and hedges. Think about how thin the margin actually was. A guard's tea break, a flimsy lock, a dog more curious than an entire police force. If Pickles had walked a different route that evening, England might have lifted an empty pedestal in front of a packed Wembley. Instead, a household pet solved what detectives couldn't and walked away with a medal for it. So, the next time a captain lifts that trophy under fireworks and a roaring crowd, remember what it's built on. Not just legendary goals and rivalries, but a locked room, a ransom letter from a man who may never have had the trophy, and a dog who found the most important prize in world sport under a hedge, on an ordinary evening, on an ordinary street. The detectives never solved it. The dog did.